Cameron Chardukian here with the Daily Developer Show, the show where we talk every single day about how you can become a better developer and how you can optimize your lifestyle as a developer. As you can see, I'm going a little bit gangster in this video with the MacBook webcam. And that's because I've been kind of busy today trying to, earn money to keep myself afloat, but also, invest my time in learning skills, and learning some of the programming stuff to continue to advance my own skills, right? Because that's the thing. Before you're working as a programmer, you got to focus. You got to say, I gotta keep cash to keep me afloat. Unless you're lucky enough to be in a position where you're somebody's supporting you, but you're keeping yourself afloat, and so then you also have to kind of budget your time about how you're gonna continue to improve your skills. So speaking about improving your skills, what I want to talk to you about in today's video is why you should keep a daily coding journal. Now, this is something that I've done for probably close to the last 2 months. And I also did it earlier in 2017 when I was going through a period of learning how to code. Now, here's the cool thing about keeping a daily coding journal. There are many reasons why you should do this. Number one is that when you're keeping this daily coding journal, by writing every single day about what you're learning, it'll actually help you internalize what you've learned. So they often say the best way to learn something is to teach it. This is also true for programming. Now, another cool benefit of keeping a daily coding journal is that it'll help motivate you, right? So you can go and look back at some of the things you were struggling with before, and then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later, you can look back and you can say, wow, previously I was struggling with coding React forms and learning about how states in React and my React forms, how they interact. Or you can say I was having trouble with CSS grid. However, when you go back and you look at that, it'll help motivate you, because sometimes, let's be honest, learning programming is a slow process. So you can't always necessarily see a lot of the progress that's happening day to day. But I'm cooking in here in my apartment in Ho Chi Minh City. But you can see that improvement if you're writing every day. You can say, today I learned this. But you can also look back, and you can look back a month and you can say, wow, I have come a long way in the last month. And that'll motivate you to continue to put the hours in. So to summarize, let's go back and remember the benefits. Number one is that it'll motivate you to continue, number one was that it'll help you internalize the things that you learned. Number two is that it'll motivate you to continue practicing. What is number three? Number three is that it will help you show or demonstrate your dedication to your craft. And what do I mean by this? Well, there are different ways you could go about doing this. You could blog every single day about what you're learning in the field of web development. Kind of like what I'm doing in this video here. Another thing though that you can do is what I recommend even more than just recording videos like this or writing on a WordPress blog or whatnot is take your daily coding journals every day and post them to GitHub. That's what I do. So what is this going to do? Well, first of all, employers are going to be able to see that you're active on GitHub, which means they're going to assume that you know how to use Git, which that's a big plus, being familiar with industry tools. Now, another thing that this is going to do is it's going to force you to learn Git, so you're becoming more competent, and competency leads to confidence. It'll also lead you to learn Markdown, right? Because something that I realized was I probably spent a month or more than a month making my coding entries every day, and I was just uploading DocX or Microsoft Word documents to GitHub. But doing that for a while, I learned that, you know what? I asked a programmer friend to look at my journal, and he said, dude, listen, I love your dedication, but here's what you got to do to make this better. First, you got to make your titles, don't title it Tuesday, May 2nd Coding Journal. Title it 2019-5-2, and that'll make it more search friendly, which that shows other programmers that you're familiar with naming conventions, or just kind of the way programmers do things, like kind of like the lingo. But he also said, you know what, go learn Markdown. And so I learned Markdown, which is basically, it's kind of like a basic programming language. They call it a scripting language. And what it helps you do is it helps you put your text on GitHub and puts your text in a readable format so people can read your entries without having to download them directly. And you can also format your entries without people having to go to like a separate web page or something of that nature. So basically the idea is, if you are doing these daily coding entries and preferably, hopefully you're also interacting with other developers, and maybe you can get them to read your entries from time to time and get feedback. What that's going to do is it's going to show you what your weak points are and how you can improve. And the best is if you can get outside feedback on that, but you can also be introspective and say, I need to practice JavaScript functions more to get a better understanding of that. Cook it in here. And finally, last thing I want to talk to you about is that recording your progress that you're making in the world of web development every day, it's going to motivate you to continue to improve. In the same way that recording these videos every day, it motivates me to think about things to talk about. Writing every single day about what you're learning, it's going to do two things. First of all, it's going to motivate you to learn more, second of all, that's going to lead you to putting more hours in. What I actually recommend is that you do Pomodoro sessions, or you code for 30 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break, and you code for 30 minutes and you take a 5-minute break, and you can actually count how much time you spend programming every day, and you can actually put that in your daily coding journal. So you're kind of going to feel not so great about yourself if at the end of the day you have to write that I didn't program today, or I only put in 18 minutes of practice. Whereas on the other hand, you can feel a sense of pride if you say, today I put in 4.5 hours of coding practice, and I didn't have to do that. I did that just because I'm dedicated to this, and I'm passionate about it, and I want to succeed. So anyway, those are some of my reasons why you should keep a daily coding journal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. As the name says, this is the Daily Developer channel, and we're making these videos every single day.